What's up, shawty?
This is the story of Ashley Burton, aged 37, a beautiful transgender lady who was shot and killed during a scuffle in her house by someone she let in. Darius Mills, aged 31, was in her house for one thing or the other when a dispute between him and Ashley ensued after finding out some stuffs. During the argument, while still inside the apartment, he shot her, then followed her outside the apartment where he continued to shoot her while she pleaded for her life. Darius then fled the scene. It took police a while to figure who killed Ashley and why Ashley was really killed. Hello and welcome to Twisted Crimes. Subscribe and hit the like button for more stories. This story will be taking us to Atlanta, Georgia. Atlanta, Georgia has a commitment to fair treatment for all residents and visitors, including its LGBTQ community. The city has non-discrimination laws that prohibit discrimination based on sexual orientation, gender identity, and other factors. It also has an LGBTQ advisory board that includes civic leaders, influencers, and advocates who make recommendations to the mayor and other city officials. Ashley Burton, aged 37, was described by people who knew her as sweet and loving. Ashley grew up in South Carolina but relocated to Atlanta for a chance at a better life. Ashley was a transgender woman who believed Atlanta will be a very great place for her to live her life without much hate around her. She even posted videos of herself where she was perfecting her body how she wanted it.
If you want that flat ass stomach. I'm scared. Girl, let me tell you something. The only thing that really worries people is like just going in that room. It's the people that when you get ready to go in that room is what really bothers people, because they be thinking in their brain like, oh shit, this shit scam me, and they about to put me to sleep and all this shit. Girl, don't let that stuff get in your brain, because if it get in your brain, you gonna psych yourself out, because people be sitting up there talking about, oh, you know what, I don't even want to do this. Fuck this. Girl, you done paid your money, you better take your ass on in that room. Tell them people don't over talk over you, honey. Talking about some just put me the fuck to sleep and get me up out of here. That's all you got to tell them, honey. Don't do all that talking. Because now, you know how they do. They going to take you in there. They going to tell you all the stuff that could happen and all that stuff, and your present chances and all that. Baby, you can't let that stuff get in your brain, honey. I'm telling you, you know what? Just shut up. Just get off that and get me on up in here, because I don't want to hear nothing about all that. But they got to tell you anyway. That's just what they got to tell you. But you know what I mean. Don't let it discourage you. You just got to get your mind pepped up. And just know, honey, once they hit that little button and you start fading out, girl, you'll be back up. You think you been gone 5 minutes, girl, you be gone hours, and you get up. Because it get real now when they tell you they about to come in there. You know, you got to get undressed and all that stuff, put your little gown on, and they tell you somebody about to come in there and talk to you about anesthesia. That's when it get real. Because you know it's gonna go down. Because it ain't gonna take long, because they gonna talk to you a little bit, and honey, that stuff gonna get to flowing through you, and honey, you is gonna be out. And you gonna wake up, and you gonna be sore as hell. But it's alright. Honey, beauty is pain, baby.
According to her friends, she was open about who she was. She made sure she lived her life how she wanted it. She was loved by her friends.
What's up, shawty? We all in Atlanta and shit. Come on. Come on. What's up? We at ATL, just left a party. How was the party, Ash?
It was great.
Alright. We in best friend mode. What up?
Ashley was a hairstylist and makeup artist. She took great pride in her work. She posted her works and also posted herself very often on social media. Ashley was living her life to the fullest like anybody else when things suddenly turned left. On April 11, 2023, according to reports, Ashley was home with someone who she knew. Things were going nice for them until the person in question discovered something about her he didn't like. The report did not say for sure what the person actually found out. Suddenly this person got his gun and shot Ashley. She was able to rush outside her apartment to ask for help, but he followed her and kept shooting her. He then fled the scene afterwards. Neighbors who heard loud banging on their doors called the cops. When they arrived, Ashley was declared dead on the scene.
New developments after a woman is found shot to death just feet away from her front door. We're hearing now from the family of Ashley Burton, whose body was found in a breezeway at the City Park Apartments off of Fairburn Road in Atlanta. Our Cody Alcorn has the story.
Why her? Why would it be somebody who's trying to make it, who's trying to better herself, who's trying to do right by people, who's trying to help? Why?
Ivory Carter says her cousin moved to Atlanta to make a better life for herself.
She was very known for doing hair and makeup. She was a hair and makeup artist.
Any ambitions Ashley Burton had for her future were abruptly ended on April 11th.
She ran out the house hollering and screaming, beating on doors.
Ashley was running for her life.
But this got to be personal because you shot her in her house. Then you followed her outside and shot her.
Ivory says she can't imagine why anyone would want to kill her cousin.
She don't put herself in them type of environments. That's why it's like I'm clueless to how. There was always positive people.
But something very dark happened behind this crime scene tape on Wednesday. Atlanta police describing it as a domestic-related shooting. Ivory says regardless of who pulled the trigger,
I just want justice for my cousin.
she doesn't want Ashley's story to go untold.
I'm tired of all these incidents of transgender women just being pushed up under the rug. We are human beings too.
7-year-old victim was quiet and did not bother anyone. Fox 5's Angelique Proctor joins us from the scene with more on what you found out today, Angelique.
Good afternoon, Christine. Now, Atlanta police say it was a neighbor who actually called them about 4:30 this morning. That deadly shooting happened in the second-floor apartment that you see behind me. Detectives say once they got here to City Park Apartments, the woman was already dead.
I was devastated. Like, this is really one of my great friends.
The man who spoke with Fox 5 did not want to share his name, but he said he had been a former roommate and close friend of the 37-year-old victim for years. Atlanta police say they found the body of the transgender woman at about 4:30 Tuesday morning. Neighbors and police say she was shot in her apartment, but ran out going door to door trying to get help.
Arrived on scene, they located the decedent in the breezeway of the apartment. Appears dead from an apparent gunshot.
Those who knew her are just stunned.
She was a very sweet young lady. She was very full of life, really. Like, it was always smiles and laughs with us. Whenever we were together, it was always fun.
Police have not yet released the victim's name. They are still notifying family. But those who live in the community are feeling despair.
We typically keep to ourselves. We don't bother anyone. Apparently she didn't either. It's horrific. I'm sorry that happened to her. I really am.
And detectives spent many hours here on the scene today. They are actively working this case.
Her phones were stolen from the apartments after she was shot in an effort to throw police off. But police were able to get the person who shot and killed her during their investigations. He was someone by the name of Darius Mills, age 31. Darius was already in custody for another crime, which made it easy for the cops to charge him with the crime.
Darius Mills is accused of killing 37-year-old Ashley Burton. You might remember her story. She was found shot and killed at an apartment complex on Fairburn Road in April. Mills was being held for another crime when police secured the warrants for his arrest in Burton's death. He's facing several charges now, including murder and armed robbery.
Darius faces charges of murder, armed robbery, possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, and possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony. Police believe Darius stole the phones because they contained information that could identify him. Police are trying to determine if Burton's murder qualifies as a hate crime. Ashley's family members had some things to say about her as a person.
We're also hearing from the victim's heartbroken family. Fox 5's Angelique Proctor joins us live from Atlanta Police Headquarters. Angelique, what did her family have to say?
Well, they said she is outgoing and she was full of life. In fact, they describe her as a trendsetter who was on her way up.
Ashley was a go-getter, so people respected the hustle, the trend setting.
Ashley Burton's family says the 37-year-old was outgoing and loved people. That is why Mom Emma and brother Patrick were stunned when officers knocked on the door with news of her murder Tuesday.
I started screaming, and the officers, one of the officers, because it was about 4 of them, they asked me, "Mister, step on the inside," because our cat just got hysterical.
We didn't see that coming, very shocked.
Atlanta police say someone inside of Ashley's City Park apartment on Fairburn Road shot and killed her Tuesday morning. Neighbors say Burton went door to door trying to get help. Her family believes her being transgender had nothing to do with her death because they say she was a proud member of the LGBTQ community.
The way my sibling moved in life, it's like take it or leave it. And what I mean by that, it's like, okay, this is how I am. Either you can respect it or neglect it. But Ashley's going to put it out there, and let that person know. It was not going to be a secret.
In an extraordinary move, both mom and brother have forgiven the killer.
Do you think you could forgive the person?
I already have.
As a mother, I had forgave that person when I heard it, because I'm a God-fearing woman.
And the Burtons tell me that Ashley's funeral and burial will take place in her home state of South Carolina.
We do hope Darius faces the consequences of his actions and also hope Ashley gets the justice she deserves. Our sincere condolences to the friends and families of Ashley Burton. May her soul continue to rest in peace. Please stay safe out there and see you guys in the next video.